Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Well, as you can see, I'm a little bit behind today. But anyways, today, maybe we actually have a normal day. We'll see. The markets have been crazy all week. Today, we actually have a normal setup, and actually kind of a little bit of an insight setup, if I'm seeing this right. So let's come over here, look at our volume profile. Equities, huge rally yesterday. Oh my gosh. So positive. Look, new all-time highs. Just like that. New all-time highs. That's a little scary, folks. It's a little scary how powerful it is. Here, the 10 years, we are within yesterday's range, 23.5. It's the bottom of this. Maybe we fall out, but kind of when I look at all of the daily indicators and everything, except for on the monthly basis, we're actually positive in the treasuries. I'm reading this all right. Man, how is that possible? Weekly, daily, monthly. Well, obviously on ES, we're positive on everything. But I want to know on ZN. Yeah, okay, so we're down on the weekly, but we're still positive on the month, and we're positive on the day. But only just barely. So we go negative on the day at 24.5. Okay. Well, I suspect that might be exactly what happens. But we do have some news here in 7 minutes. And also, let's see here. I think we have some other stuff today, don't we? Like we have the usual, the unemployment claims, right? Unemployment claims. Oh, building permits for Canadian. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about Canadian data. Data? What? FMOSC member Kashkari speaks. And right now Clarida is speaking. Clarida, rather. This is at Council of Foreign Relations in New York. And Mr. Kashkari is going to be at the Minneapolis Fed Regional Economic Conditions Conference. Cool. Wow. So, and that's basically our setup. The thing is, as we've moved so far, I don't know if this could be like an inside day consolidation sort of a thing, continuation. I don't know. This is always the will it continue or not trade that is so incredibly difficult to predict until it's happening. Okay. Check up on you guys in Discord here. Iranian commander Hajizada says missile strikes aim was not to kill U.S. troops, but to damage America's military machine. Iranian commander says appropriate revenge to General Soleimani's killing to expel the U.S. troops from the region. Source Zero Hedge. Saying that might have caused the small spike up that we had. I don't know. Robots probably going crazy. Yeah. And then let's check in on you guys over here. Lucas, your political projections were right once again. Yeah. Well, which ones? On, well, actually, I think my two major political projections have been correct, right? Because Nancy Pelosi looks stupid, And the Iran thing is kind of cooling off. I don't know. I don't know if I was like particularly insightful or brilliant on the Iran thing. It's just you can bet on the end of the world not happening and win pretty much every time. I'm not so sure that the expectancy on that is positive because, well, I mean, that's the end of the world. But then at that point, does it really matter? I don't know. I got disconnected. That's the second day in a row that OBS has had trouble staying connected to YouTube. But we're all safe, right? We're all back. We're all safe. Well, there was no follow throughs, as you said, no backlash. Yeah, or rather, Iran was de-escalating. Yeah. Okay. Well, here's where we might see some stuff in the treasuries, like we have the news. Air cages. We're all gonna die. By the way, yeah, that reminds me. Bitcoin. I guess in the larger scheme of things, that's not that bad. And they did come back quite a bit. Back to 8,000 at least. They were up at 8,600, so they lost $600. Basically somebody lost money out there. But no, like 24.5 is where maybe people might start to sell here, you know? Let's look, where do we have like the opening range and everything? Opening range low is at 222 in the 5-year. It's at 24 in the 10. Ooh, it's all the way down at 09 in the 30-year. That's interesting. Previous close 25. So we got in this area between 25 and 24 a lot of critical levels, but then if we're able to get below that stuff, then I think that the treasuries could see more significant selling. They probably wait until after the news. Easy.
Uzi Knesset says I am already dead.
Is that an anime reference?
Lucas says I mean for them to say an okay revenge to a killing on someone as important as that general as to expel troops shows weakness. Harlequin says anyone here also watching the charity speedrun event Games Done Quick? I like those, especially Super Mario speedruns.
Oh yeah. On Twitch that's going on right now. Yeah, you're right. It is fun stuff. Okay, so the 10-year did see a little bit of a flush there. We're just going to take this by the seat. Well, actually, we could just want to be right here. You know, just in case. Ome wamo shindorilu. Shindiru. And we needed it. Wait, don't we have the Japanese voice? Japan M? Isn't that? Let's see here. Accent Japan M Ome wa mo shin Dario. Oh, I need to. Did I spell that right? I didn't spell that right. SINSHINDEIRU.
スペキュレーター瀬戸 SAYS お前 WAMOU 死んでいる。
Perfect.
Harlequin SAYS 何
Nani? Maybe you need to put a question mark. Nani? Okay, so the news has come and gone. I can see here it was unemployment claims 214K versus 221, so a little bit better than expected. That 2665 right there. And look at the E-mini. Trending up. And here's the wrong spot for the E-mini though. Like in this one, we had a spike in the treasuries, and now it's continuing down. So that says a lot. Okay. Pretty significant click when it ticked up, though. And those guys at 25 kind of disappeared. Yeah.
Yarkedges SAYS ドロモンスターカルド、ドロモンスターカルド、ドロモンスターカルド。
I have no clue what that means, but it sounded great.
ルーカス SAYSEBB& フロー is NOT グッド。
The ebb and flow is not good. Well, they sure haven't been too excited since
Lucas
this
says he
uptick,
needs to
have
learn
they?
English.
Right. It doesn't speak English very well. Wait, how did I want to read that one again?
ルーカス SAYSEBB& フロー is NOT グッド。
Yeah. He tried to say it, but it's way too off to read it in Japanese. Especially ebb. See, book equal. No reaction. I still see some flattening. Down tick. Big order shows up at 25 again.
Harlequin says let's see if I can do a better Chinese impression. Omewamo Shindiru, Nani, you know the best thing about the run incident. No one is talking about Hong Kong, Ivila Hihi.
Okay, so there's a bit showing up at 24 now. So some defense there. That downtick certainly woke him up, though. My eye is twitching. You probably can't see it. My eye is twitching. It's only one tick. Or sorry, I'm break even on a sim trade, and it's too stressful. Apparently. I don't know. I like this setup. This particular signals maybe a little. Okay, so now they're stacking at 24.5 and the 5-year tick down.
Uzi Knesset says that no good.
That no good. Yes.
Lucas says I'm doing sim today as well after yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was pretty wild, right? After I left, It was like we just sat and had fun on stream, right? And then after I left, Donald Trump started speaking, and that flush in treasuries, oh my gosh. Clearly not everybody got the market that the world wasn't going to end. Sorry, not everybody got the memo. Not everybody in the market
Eric
got the
Pages
memo
says,
that
is
the
the eye
world
twitch
wasn't
caused
actually
by
ending.
stress or arousal?
Or
Or both?
No, I think it's a stress thing. I think, I'm still sick and stuff. I'm feeling quite a bit better
Harlequin
today.
says not only treasuries, crude oil got killed lol, and I liked that.
Oh yeah, Harlequin. Yeah, that was. Oof.
RZH says Sun GM.
And gold got creamed. Hey, Ron. Treasury is kind of suggesting to me that they're just happy right here. Like there was some good selling there, but how easy did they move through 24.5? I mean, it took some volume. 3,000 is not crazy, but it took some volume and they had it. Somebody might be playing defense
Harlequin
here.
says crude got fucked, gold got creamed. Trading now live on Pornhub.
Right. Okay, so that time the bid fell away and we ticked down. The 10-year is being pretty finicky here.
Lucas says hard to pick a bias given the action we are seeing now.
Yeah. Well, I still think my bias is down, and the reason I feel that is because this well, there you go. There's 2 ticks down right there. The action up looked like defense to me. Like they had to push up. They were pushing like 2,000-3,000.
Bias is good.
And then it only took 12-17 to push through 24. So buyers played defense, and then when the sellers came back in,
Air Cages says war would be good for Bitcoin, so I'm kinda torn. On the other hand, I appreciate not being shot at or being blown to bits, so yeah. War sounds pretty good though.
But yeah, the when the sellers came back through, the
Uzi
buyers
Knesset
didn't
says watch the
defend as
lows
well.
though. Auction day today, so could be squiggly.
Yeah, and we could see a big iceberg somewhere. For now, though, it looks like that the sellers are making a push down and the buyers are playing defense. The buyers are trying to hold it there. But below 24 or 23. We haven't traded 23, but if we start trading 23, then I think that they might
Harlequin says,
stack.
what does auction day mean, by the way? Is this something Treasury's exclusive?
Yes. So it is what is it today actually? It's a 30-year bond auction. Yeah. So this is when the Treasury Department issues new bonds to the market. So it is comparable to the EIA reports for crude. Comparable because it affects the supply and demand of the instrument. But the difference in treasuries is that it's kind of affects future supply and demand because the 30s that they're issuing now won't actually be in ZB for 3 years or whatever. But it's still no difference, I guess. And there's a lot of complicated numbers about it, like what the bid to cover ratio was compared to the last auction.
Harlequin says so heavy volatility? Like crude dropped $1 in the first minute after the report lol.
Yeah, when it happens, it's definitely a pull the liquidity event. Usually treasuries move up though. It's the standard reaction is after the news, treasuries will slowly drift up. they kind of sell a little bit going into it, and then but overall on the day they're usually up. Which, by the way, if we start to see big selling on an auction day, that can be a situation where somebody can get really screwed over and the market can move. Okay, like if we really do break 22, that could be a pretty big deal. It's looking good so far.
Uzi Knesset says big downage.
Yeah. Yep. So anyways, on the Iran thing, one of the funniest TikToks that I saw was this guy comes into a room and he's like, "Hey guys, the government is sending us on a trip to Iran." And all the guys in the room are like, "Yeah."
Harlequin says, why did you switch to 1 minute chart in ZN?
So I found that for my histograms, the 1 minute chart just showed things way better. So that's the main reason why. I still have the tick charts over here. That one's a volume chart. I don't know if the volume chart hasn't been too useful. And here's the tick chart, right? When you look at it on a tick chart, the spikes will tend to just show you icebergs. Which, icebergs are useful.
Air Cages says Seth should remain this channel to TikTok Seth.
Yeah. Maybe. I made 1 or 2 TikToks, but they were just challenges that I thought were easy. Maybe other people would not find them easy, but I thought they were easy. And it was like, why is this supposed to be hard? Is there a joke I'm missing here? That's all I
Harlequin
made.
says Garlicoin Seth.
But maybe at some point we'll post some, inspiring messages. But for now. Oh, I'll show you. Speaking of it, ooh, that was a good downtick. Ooh, I like that. 2386 something. I don't know. Well, let's watch this. I got this TikTok I want to show you guys. That was funny. Motivating.
Uzi Knesset says inspire these nuts.
But let's let this thing play out first. I can now. Were those all there before? Kind of. But they have solidified a little bit more since we've moved down. All these big orders down here every 4 ticks or so. So now I need to start come back here and looking at like, okay, where's my volume profile? In the 10-year.
Air Cages says TikTok Seth cause you seem to spend more time TikToking than trading lol.
19.
Harlequin says live trade? Didn't even go against you.
No, it's not live. It wasn't live. I wish I could say that. Not live. 19. Not only that, but it was not the signal
Uzi
either.
Knesset says TikToking this blunt.
I suppose it was a signal, right? The signal was this right here. I played it differently this time. There was the spike, and then when I let it calm down, we were still moving down, so I took it as a continuation signal. That's the way that I want to do it. Is I want to see a spike, let it calm down, take it in the direction it's going.
Seth.
420 Seth. No, on TikTok I'm just speculator Seth.
RISITAS says, what do you think of Futex?
What do you think of Futex? I don't think I haven't really looked at them too seriously. I've certainly heard of them, right? They're like the one prop firm in the US, right? Although from what I've heard, it's not really like the same thing as real prop firms used to be. So I'm not quite sure what to think of them. I've never spoken with anybody that has any experience with them.
Uzi Knesset says shit. I offered 06 in ZB, got to Q1 and it dropped.
Oh,
That's
man.
annoying.
Oh, man. So you're sitting right there at the top of the queue in 06. Well, that last down tick was a little
Harlequin
excessive.
says, isn't SMB Capital a prop trading firm? So few techs can't be the only one.
Maybe you're
Uzi
right.
Knesset says not anymore lol. Air Cages says go find a real prop firm like Top Step Trader. Thank me later, newbie.
That, for anybody watching that on replay that's new, he was being sarcastic and that was a joke. All right. Oh, I think I want to take that right there. I might actually already be a little late on it. Cool. All right. Now I'll show you this TikTok. It's hilarious. There's a little bit of swearing in it. Okay, here we go. Some inspiration for you guys today.
You know what's crazy?
RISITS says how much
not
capital is
believing
best to
in yourself! I mean, how many times do we have to frickin' do this? You've got the sauce, baby! You're Chick-fil-A! So why aren't you using it? So what if life's hard? So what if you've given up on your New Year's resolutions? What we're not having is you acting like you can't still kill the game. You're a hot mofo with all the cocoa, baby. So
With all the cocoa, baby.
Flipping dust off and start this day knowing you've got what it takes. Put on some flipping deodorant and slay this day like the boss-ass hoe Empress Queen that you flipping are. You're a boss-ass hoe! You know what's crazy? Yeah!
So I hope that all you boss assholes put deodorant on today, right? Hey, first, James, are you trading for some proprietary trading company or on your own? Just on my own. I used to do like the combines, but I determined that the profit target was not realistic for the style of trading that I was doing, and so I just opened up my own account, a very, very small account. I've been trading that now for like 1 or 2 years. It's been over 2 years. I never thought this would be my first introduction to TikTok. Well, I look for TikToks that don't have any music so that I can show them on YouTube. Thank you for the answer. No problem.
Uzi Knesset says deodorant is for waggies lol.
Guys, you gotta put on the deodorant. Don't be like that. Right. They're already, there are our powers that be. Don't give them more ammunition. You didn't put your deodorant on today. Come on. If we have a meetup, all right, at like a trader conference, and you're not wearing deodorant, man, I'm just gonna have to ask you to leave. So, okay, so they did take a little bit into 20.5. I got out at 21, right? Show me what it was last tick. I got 24.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6. I think that the 6 tick exit was reasonable given that we're getting spikes almost equal to the spike that got us in. There might be some pushing. I don't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe they get to 19. But with the level 2 that I'm seeing, we're seeing like too many people trying to get in on it late now. It was a real good downturn too. And I'm
Air Cages says it's okay not to wear deodorant as long as you're a profitable trader. Tough luck, guys.
Okay, well, there's I don't know, man, that there's enough of those in here that that would still be unacceptable. Maybe it'll give you 8. So if it gives us 8 on that one, right, that's a pretty good downturn. there's 18.5 is the bottom of the profile from the first of the year, from like the very first. But yeah, I don't know. It's anytime that you say that it's like, this is like it's going to turn around, right? They almost always have at least one more. They always have at least one more leg in them. But I am seeing some indications that they've pushed a little bit too far for now. That the market makers don't have the oomph to push it much further. Might catch latecomers coming in though. Mm-hmm.
Harlequin says I don't have enough money for a deodorant. Had to invest everything I have in Garlicoin and Algobox.
How much did you invest in Garlicoin again? Was the $10? All 10 of his dollars into Garlicoin, folks. Oh man.
Uzi Knesset says Algobox is tight.
Oh please, let's not get on that again. I am so sick of that thing. I'll tell you what, though, it would change the subject here with another inspiring thought. Because honestly, like, okay, let's say that you trade, okay, and you take some risks and it doesn't work out, right? And there are so many people out there that want to insult you and, you know, make fun of you for taking a risk and now, like, you push yourself and then it doesn't work out. Okay, like, you shouldn't beat yourself up about that. Why would anybody beat you up about that? And I can only think of one reason why anybody would want to gang up on you when you've taken a risk and you've come up short. And that is because they're afraid. They want to punish you for taking risks on your own because they want you to be dependent on them. They don't want you to be successful. They don't want you to discover what your limits are. They want you to be limited by what they think you should be. And they have to do, the way they do that is they have to discourage you from actually taking those risks and discovering. Because you're never going to be successful if you don't go in and you try it. Julian Duran, do you have a track record? Well, so I have a quote unquote track record. So I do not necessarily, there are a lot of people out there saying, oh, we're like the greatest traders ever, and here's this great track record. And what they will do is they will kind of cherry pick things. So like, here's a month where I was profitable and I'll show you that. And here's some other thing that was profitable and I'll show you that. But they don't show all of their trading. And so it's not really truly a verified track record. They can say that it is, but until you show a broker statement for like everything, like a full year would be a start at least. I really don't consider it a real track record. I've shown some redacted broker statements on stream before, but I do not consider myself like a awesome profitable trader right now. I've had some really good periods and I've had some really bad periods. December was a really bad period. No joke. That was awful. I think that there's maybe some issues with the strategy I was using. So we're trying to address those. But there's also some, I'm still figuring the emotional component out. Go long 27. Oh, well, I'm totally down with that one, man. I saw Seth makes $500. Yeah, I've done that a couple of times on one contract. Oh, why am I not reading it out? So yeah, I have a track record, but I make no claims of profitability. Okay, I want to be clear about that. I make no claims of profitability. This is just me recording what I'm doing, and what happens happens. Yeah. Oh man, now that you say that, Air Cages, I'm just thinking back to that trade where we made $500 in one trade. That was fucking amazing.
Ace
Oh
Trade
my
says
gosh.
it UZI Knesset probably going to turn. Just wanted to show off. Lol.
Do you think it's gonna come back? See, when I'm looking at it,
Uzi Knesset says lol.
It's pretty quiet. I don't see how you could sell it. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna fill me there. We'll see. If it does, if this one goes, then we got out too early in the treasuries, didn't we? Could have gotten 8 on that one. Alligator says below strategic range. If it pulls back and then fails, make a new low. We'll look for move up. Waiting for now. The way it started could be a trend morning/day. Will fade first pullback, I think. And
Julian Duran says yes.
Pullback. Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of noise out there right now. The reason why we're kind of being like this is because some other people have been trying to troll, and I have no interest in playing any of that game. I just want to trade, and what happens happens. And I would caution people about getting your ego caught up in how good your trading is.
Ace Trade says short signal 3271.00.
The way that they sold through me there is no good. Come on. I'm just going to let that sit for a second. Let's let them sort it out because... Yeah. Oh, excuse. Oh my gosh! I'm sorry. That must have hurt. That must have hurt yours. I don't know. Is ZB coming for a slight turn? Yeah, look, there's
Uzi Knesset says ZB coming in for a slight turn.
Their treasury's definitely reacted to just that 1 point down in the E-mini, didn't it? How many did we lose on that?
RZH says what you want to see from track record, Seth.
What would you want to see? Well, so if I was looking at a track record, here's what I would like to see. This is what I would say is like a good track record, okay? They would provide you a full year of broker statements. They would provide you with everything. It'd have to be everything that they traded. Yeah, I guess you have to trust them on that, but that would have to be everything that they traded. And then I would be particularly interested in what their average winner was, what their average loser was, and what their maximum drawdown was. So you will see some strategies that appear to work for very long periods of time, but then you will eventually discover that the maximum drawdown on them is horrendous. So I've seen people trading strategies where they're literally making 2 ticks in the E-mini. Literally 2 ticks in the E-mini on a winner, and when they lose, they're losing like 16 ticks. Okay? So you have any idea how ridiculous of a win rate you have to come out with a positive expectancy on a trade like that? It just doesn't happen. But it could be months before you figure it out. So you could see strategies where they go 3 months and then finally they hit the drawdown, right? Or another thing that I've seen is, they're used to winning because they're so caught up in whether the
Ace
trade
says I
was
always wait
profitable
for
or not.
16 ticks to notice that I went the wrong direction. Lol.
And they
IQ says I can do that provided you pay me in garlic coin $10,000.
no, sorry. But
RZH says with buy and sell level and all details.
well, I would just want to see the broker statement. So the broker statement usually does give you the buy and sell level, right? And the product. And I would have to go through and like calculate what the average winner and loser and everything is. It would be a lot of work to analyze that. So it would be even better. It would be you provide the broker statement and then you provide statistics from like Journalytics, like Jigsaw's Journalytics or something like that, or the built-in NinjaTrader stats. But yeah, I've seen some people that they're so used to winning that when they lose, they will start doubling down. And so you can see days where they will like literally lose everything in one day. I've seen that from people, and I've done, I've doubled down at least once. Yeah. Yeah.
Ace Trade says because no one can fake a broker statement. I'm looking at you, red-headed stock trader who is on every GD commercial on YouTube.
Do you think he fakes them? I know who you're talking about. I don't know. So with that guy, and I'm not going to name names because again, I don't want to start drama with people. Like, there's usually enough information about each individual person for you to look at them and see if they're for real or not. But that guy in particular, my understanding is that he is usually trading small stocks with a very low floating liquidity. So he will come in and take a trade, and then there are enough people following him that he's making money off of that. That's what people have told me, but I can't verify that for myself, and I'm not going to name names. But that is one method that gurus will use for sure. Okay, so no, Julian asked the question, AMP, is it good? Yes. So I use AMP, and AMP is, without question, the cheapest broker in terms of your beginning cost. Now, I'd be careful with that because there are trade-offs. So most of us are going to use AMP because it's cheap, but that means their support's not as good. Things like that. And honestly, if you're a profitable trader and you're trading good size, you can usually talk the other brokers down lower. So, especially for guys like Ace who are just so consistent and trade a decent amount of volume, it's worth it for them to go and talk to other brokers and see if they can talk down their commissions and get a better price and have better service. Okay. But is AMP an okay broker to use? Yeah. In fact, I'd say, pretty much all the futures brokers are really good. So, stage 5 trading is really great. And the advantage you get with them is that they will do risk management for you and kick you out of trades if you're going crazy. Optimus Futures, I speak with Matt Z all the time, and I really like him, and they have really good support. They have a new platform coming out that I think is going to be cheaper, which is really nice and good. NinjaTrader brokerage, great, and of course you get NinjaTrader. And there's the 2 brokers that you can pick from them. So yeah, I'm sure 3271.25 tight stop, and now I'm out. Yeah. Let's just wait for a little bit, Ace. Let's see if they do an extension. Because to me, at the moment, the equities are still just kind of in a holding pattern. The treasuries did move down a little bit lower. I got a little bit of a spike. So anytime that I get a little bit of a spike, that's always, like caution. It wasn't necessarily like full-on exhaustion, although the way that the chart moved, that sure looks like exhaustion, right? And there's a big iceberg at 19.5. So I think we may need to just let this play out a little bit. It looks like the market is trying to just whip it around a little bit. But can anyone fake a broker statement? Yes, although you can get a written statement from your broker stating that the attached broker statement is genuine and from the broker. So you can do that. But again, look at the average winner, average loser, maximum drawdown, because those are where, just because you were profitable this year doesn't mean you can be profitable next year. And those are some of the things that I would look at to see, okay, does this person have actually a good strategy, or did he get lucky? Like, what if the average loser is more than your average winner? And then, or what's their win rate? These sorts of things matter. Maybe they don't win very often, but the ones that they did, they just made a ton of money on them. And what are the chances of them catching a move that good again next year? Things you have to consider. And the way that a lot of gurus get away with it is that people don't do those sorts of things. They just go, oh, well, okay, he posted something that's good enough for me. And it shouldn't be good enough. I can have a profitable month. I've had profitable quarters. I haven't had a profitable year. Or at least it was not profitable in 2019.
Dorian Diaz says why XTrader is no longer accessible. We must go through the new TT platform.
Yeah, I don't really know. I tried. I have the new TT platform on my system, and I tried out their demo, and I had a hard time getting over that there just wasn't a whole lot of customization available to it. And I just like my Jigsaw DOM so much better. Although their data sure was awesome. Something I'm noticing is that the data that you get as a retail broker is not as good as they lead you to believe. They chunk together orders for you. The order that they come in is kind of off, and so you kind of have to try and reconstruct what actually happened, and which is imperfect.
Air Cages says when are we doing the next illegal garlic coin pump and dump? Daddy needs a new pair of galoshes.
Well, we're never doing that. But I would be waiting for like a real pump and garlic coin. I would be waiting for like, a true cryptocurrency craze where all of the altcoins are going up. And lately it's just been Bitcoin, and altcoins continue to get destroyed, right?
Vincenzo C says, Seth, are you stating that it's wrong to find a mentor?
I'm not stating that it's wrong to find a mentor. The thing is if you are trading and you are involved in the community in any capacity at all, people are really friendly and like to talk and collaborate. Almost any major person out there that you can think of. Just as an example, I learned the way that I got started trading was reading the No BS Day Trading book from John Grady. And you can email John Grady and he will respond the next day. Every time. And I've sent him messages about specific things many, many times, and he always gives me good answers. I would consider John Grady to be a mentor, okay? But I paid him $80 for that one course, and that was it, okay? There are mentors out there that will charge you $5,000 for lifetime access, and then all they do is yell at you, and don't really actually give you any useful information. And they'll say, oh yeah, everybody on my room is doing good. But then when you actually look into it, most of them aren't actually making money. Or, I've run into many situations like that. So my recommendation to you is, yes, you should find a mentor, but you should not be paying them an arm and a leg. And I would be very wary of anything that is like, like trading rooms with monthly access. With monthly access, I'd be particularly wary about those. Do you know Tim Skies? I've heard that name, but I don't know them. Look at such good action. I wish I was trading live. Well, that one was 4 more ticks. Good grief. Who were you trained by? So like I said, I first picked it up from John Grady. I would consider all of these guys here in this in the live chat here on YouTube. So like especially Uzi and Ace Trades, John Bottomley, he was a friend that I had before I started streaming. All have been mentors and have taught me things and have taught me useful things and helped me become better traders. And they did all of that for free. And I would take their advice and guidance any day over all of these guys out there that are charging you, thousands of dollars. Yeah. So who are you trained by and what was your record? Like I said, I was unprofitable in 2019. I had some good periods and some bad periods, and when you look at the overall amount, it was like I was up $1,000 and then I was down. Then I lost it basically. So we're still working on it. I hope that I was able to teach you that. I don't know. I don't think that my opinion on where value comes from in a cryptocurrency has changed since we started streaming. It comes from utility, and I don't think that there's a whole lot of utility in Bitcoin right now. They need to increase the block size. Man, are they going to go again? This is turning into a trend, eh? Crazy. Maybe you can just sell it at 19. I don't know. That's like a really risky trade, but man. Oh, yeah. One other thing that I would add about my record. My record tends to be that I do really awesome January through March, and then and then summer is awful and I just don't trade it. And then like the third, fourth quarter of the year is kind of hit and miss. Where did you get out? I got out at 21.5. I mean, I was saying, didn't I say 18.5? Yeah. 18.5 was like that, was like the next like volume profile level that I saw. But I was seeing enough level 2 activity to lead me to believe that they could turn. But clearly the context of the day is different than I expected, isn't it? It seems to me like they're in like full on trend mode, because that is a 20 tick downturn. That's huge in treasuries. In the 10-year, that's huge.
Lucas says I got short there. You bought my sim short.
Oh, really? You know what? You probably picked it up a little bit later, though. Well, I didn't go 21.5 there. So, like, it came down and then back up, and I was like, okay. And then it fiddled there a little bit more, and then so I got out right in this area. Like that blue candle.
RCH
right
says Seth is really honest.
Came down, went down. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing that I try to be, because, gosh, everybody out there is trying to effing scam. I'm not going to say everybody out there is trying to scam you. Listen, when you trade, there's this idea out there that if you were a truly profitable trader, why would you bother selling software, selling education materials, yada yada yada, things like that. Well, the truth of the matter is that if you've had any kind of success, you're going to try and leverage that stuff. Absolutely. And almost everybody does. Okay. Because trading is inconsistent income. Even if you're good and you're profitable year over year, and let's say that you're profitable the past 5 years, somebody that's that profitable is going to know that, hey, sometimes it can be inconsistent. And if you can get people to pay you a consistent amount of money every month to kind of help even things out, you're going to do it. And if you're that profitable, you're going to have the time to do it. All right. So everybody is out there trying to sell something.
Lucas says I read a trading thumbnail from a random stream a couple days ago that I liked. $500 a day keeps the day job away, face with tears of joy.
but everybody's trying to sell something, and the thing that I take issue with is that they're not honest. Many of them are not honest. They cherry pick.
Air Cages says I think
They-
I'm Seth's favorite subscriber. Sorry guys.
I love you all equally. Oh no! On the Patreon subscriber, yeah, Air Cages probably is. He's one of the guys. I tell you what. So I have the Patreon. So from my perspective, Patreon is like, hey, I like your content and I support it, and I'm totally down with giving you $5 a month. But I also don't like just getting something for nothing. So I post to you guys my cryptocurrency charts, and so I picked up a ton of people. It's actually like a different set of people from the guys that are usually here in the stream every day. But a good set of people that were into cryptocurrencies that find those charts useful. And they have been subscribers now for 2 years. For 2 years, every month, they find it useful. And that to me, I think speaks volumes about the, how effective it is. I've had many people that told me that, they sold in 2017 because of what I had put out there, and they saved tens of thousands of dollars. So the Patreon is great and has an amazing track record. It doesn't take very many trades, and it hasn't taken one since 2018, like spring 2018, and it hasn't given us a signal since, but it has a pretty great track record. I had another thought there, but I can't remember what it was. Anyways. And I guess the other thing is you got to remember with any guru, guys, right? And this is the bigger, this is the bigger thing, okay? Just because you were profitable this year doesn't mean that you were profitable next year. I've seen people, they posted some trading statistics from 2018. Who gives a fuck? What did you do in 2019? Didn't trade in 2019? Okay. Then tell me
Lucas
next
says
year.
Close to open. We'll wait from now on.
It is pulling back a little bit. That's a 4-tick pullback, which is the most significant we've had so far. Tell me what happens next year, because not everybody is profitable every year. And you know what? You could have been profitable for the next 5 years, and then you might still lose in 2020. That's just the nature of markets. All right? And they change.
Kinetic says ZB a decent long above 01.
They change. And people try and sell you this idea that all you have to do is take my system and follow it to the letter, and you will always make money. Wrong. It is wrong. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Futures trading involves substantial risk of loss. You have to constantly adjust. It is a constant struggle to stay profitable. You always have to be learning more. You always have to be adjusting to the market. And the biggest problem that I have with gurus is that they prevent people from going through that process. They prevent people from learning it on their own and figuring out how the markets work and figuring out how to learn about markets and to back test things and take statistics and figure out what works and what doesn't. And so then when that guru's system, it either already doesn't work or it stops working, they're just left high and dry and they just disappear because they lost money and they don't know how to deal with it. Whereas here in this room, we have people, and these people that come in, they're here every day, and we have many profitable traders. And when the market changes, they change too. And that's why we have people, they don't just come in for a month and then disappear. So that's my rant on that.
Ace Trade says what the heck? I made a good call except for that spike up to 3,272.00. Who do I talk to about that bull crap?
Yeah, I don't know, Ace. But you know what? When your strategy ends up going like that, it usually just means that they're going sideways until the open, right? So I think we should just wait until 7:45 and then maybe it will give us one there.
Air Cages says we need to figure out a name for us speculator Seth fans. For example, Hulk Hogan has Hulkamaniacs. What should we call ourselves?
Well, yeah. So we remember. I don't think you were there that day, but we've talked a little bit about branding, right? So one of the brands that I had suggested was the quote cult. The Seth stance. What? No, the quote cult. That was one that was suggested, or no chart gang, because everybody's always like bull gang, bear gang. I feel like we're no chart gang. Although, now I use the chart actually quite a bit with this level 2 thing that I've developed.
Ace Trade says, or we can all go short right now, they can't stop us all?
No, I think they can. I was thinking about that the other day. It was like, have you noticed in the 10-year that anytime that big orders show up or there's like big spoofs, that everybody just kind of like freezes and doesn't know what to do? And I think it's because over the past year, we've been trained that like it's almost impossible to determine which way it's going to go now. And I'm like, shouldn't everybody just sell into it? If we all just sold into the iceberg, we could at least get 2 ticks out of it. But then I was like, nah, you're all too pussy to do that.
Uzi Knesset says not yet. Watching 01. Air Cages says I'm down with Seth stands. Uzi Knesset says being careful because overall I'm still favoring downside. 1 meter _ James says Sethinians. Uzi Knesset says equity open could change the game. IQ says I favor shorts 2ZB.
See, when I was thinking about this, I wanted to have something that didn't have anything to do with my name. Because it's not about me. Like, I feel that the value of the stream comes from you guys, not me. I'm just the idiot that's dumb enough to stream it. But I think the real value from the stream comes from you guys. The thing that I contribute that I'm good at is the politics, right? That is the one thing. But you're the brand.
Air Cages says, but you're the brand, Seth.
I just can't imagine people walking around with a picture of my face on their shirt, I don't see it. I think that we can come up with a better brand than that. Something that is bigger than just Seth. And that's why I suggested quote cult. But you guys aren't really responding. I heard that one and I don't hear like, oh, I love that name. That's so no. Let's just run with it. I don't know. You guys don't sound too enthusiastic about being called a cult. See, how much do we got? 6 minutes to the open? Yeah. You know what, Ace? Because I know you took that like 3 times. I took that one, and I'm still a little bit bitter about it. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the E-mini.
Ace Trade says good cults usually end with a hail of bullets.
No. I promise you guys, if we go full cult,
stands. Let's put it to a vote, guys. Yay or nay?
You know what? We could probably. Oh, you know what? So we have a Facebook group. Guys, join the Facebook group and follow me on Facebook, and I can make a poll there. Yeah, and you guys can suggest names there. No, if we go full cult, I promise you that we will end it with Kool-Aid and not bullets. Okay, deal? Deal? Kool-Aid, not bullets. You can trust me on that one. I don't know. They had a pretty good upturn. This move right here is really interesting. Can you guys see that?
Ace Trade says deal Eister.
Deal Eister.
Uzi Knesset says you go on Facebook. Night.
Night. Where's my pen? Sometimes it disappears. I'm gonna restart it. And then when I okay, there it is. Okay. So now let's zoom in here. Okay. So remember, this was the bar that we took. Okay. So here we've had a better one. That was on an up
Air
bar.
Cages says, my fellow Sethians, rise up.
It went one tick up and then it failed. And look at that right there. 3 ticks down all at once. But on very, very low level 2 changes. So I think that that's kind of fishy behavior that I haven't seen before, but I would suspect that we're just in a, you know, this was probably this one right here was probably the guys getting out before the E-mini open. And this one is maybe a little bit more. Ooh. But it just looks fishy, doesn't it? I guess it's just going to go down and down. Wait.
Ace Trade says, we have a Facebook group. Is it the one that the guy who uses moon phases to trade is always adverting his wares on?
No. You, of course, you were the first person I invited to it, Ace.
Air
Not the
Cages
first.
says Facebook is literally cancer.
We have like a dozen or so people in it, but we haven't really been posting stuff. I'll post something today. I've got what memes we got. I'll post a meme. At the end of the session, I'll go into the Facebook group, the quote cult one. I'll go into the quote cult Facebook group and post a meme today. Moon phases. Yeah. It's so funny that moon phases used to be like a serious thing.
Ace Trade says, short signal setting up at 3270.50, but don't take it.
Yeah.
Uzi Knesset says it still is on Forex Factory.
It still is on Forex? Really?
Uzi Knesset says there's a massive thread on it. Air Cages says, can you post a meme about Seth stands?
I don't have a meme about Seth stands though. There aren't many Seth memes yet, are there? I guess I'm just not that memeable.
Uzi Knesset says things been running for like 11 years lol.
It's crazy,
IQ
man.
says there's a guy in Naples who trades with astrology. Novinsky, he is successful.
I don't believe. I actually think that you could, if you had good risk management rules and the right time frame, you could probably be successful with just about anything. That's one of the things that I think we dismiss sometimes. You could literally flip a coin and make money through good risk management. You would have to have enough room on the instrument, though, if that makes sense. So, like, you would have to have a stop big enough that a small fluctuation wouldn't just stop you out. So it'd be more like swing trading the ES, but you could swing trade the ES with coin flips and probably come out profitable with the right.
Uzi Knesset says ranges are everything lol.
So I totally believe that there's somebody out there that is a successful trader with astrology, even if the astrology thing has no real edge to it. And like I said, I met a trader that his most profitable trade ever was based off of astrology, but he said that he doesn't believe it works anymore. Or rather, he's no longer a believer in it.
Ace Trade says, I'm convinced if you had a large enough stop loss, literally any strategy would work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, assuming that your profit target and all of that is fine. So if it's a coin flip, then it's 50-50, right? Then your average winner just has to be more than your average loser. And if your stop loss is larger than the average range of the instrument, then you could pull that off. 19 uptick. Pretty decent volumes trading out there. Here's the open. It's a very quiet open in the E-mini again. It looks like that buyers are winning out for the first turn. I need to come in here and kind of look at the okay, so the last swing high was 73 even. They look like they're really going to push through that easily. I don't like trading the first 5 minutes though, so we're just gonna, if they go for it, I'm just gonna have to be sad. Oh look, they didn't go through it. That's interesting. Okay, selling. Interesting. It was that
Uzi
was a little too
Knesset
easy
says,
for
hey,
them.
what's the bid look like at 55.18 on ZP?
So at 18 is just 271. The next big number that I see in ZB is 10. There's 669 at 10. And of course, there's all these ones below us in the 10-year. The 5-year, they have it at 16 3/4. There's a big one up there above us in the 5-year, though, which is odd. There's actually some reasonably big ones above us in the 10-year, too.
Uzi
don't really
Knesset
think it's
says,
gonna
thank
come
you,
back
grinning
up there,
face
do
with
they?
big eyes.
They don't really think it's going to go back up there, do they? Okay, well, I'm noticed on that downturn that it was way too easy for the sellers to do it. Did you see they almost
Air
made
Cages
a new
says, have
low?
you ever offered your wife to do some trading?
You might want to rephrase that question, Air Cages. I have. She has traded before, yes, once or twice. And the both of the times that she did it, the market wasn't really doing anything. So I don't know.
Ace Trade says at Air Cages, like, did he trade his wife for a trading account?
Did you offer your wife for some trading? My goodness, dude. Talking like I'm a slave trader or something. Like what?
Uzi Knesset says, ha ha ha.
Listen, this is not Iran. You can't do that sort of stuff here in America.
Jerry is awake says, two-edged sword lol.
Right. Nah, I'm just noticing that it's when they
Ace
sell.
Trade says it's Utah. We switch wives all the time.
Oh man. I'm just gonna stop there. No, when they sell it seems like they're able to go down very easily, but the buyers still seem to be in control. And this time when they've come up there and they're above 73, there's a lot more volume now. I could maybe think about going long here now. Now it's still a little bit too early. And they're building an outside, well, actually, I wouldn't call it an outside bar, but a
Uzi
pretty
Knesset
big
says,
up
big
bar.
love lol. Air Cages says they say wives are always better traders than men.
Probably. I don't know. I mean, there are some real advantages that women have in terms of their approach to risk that could make them good scalpers. But that doesn't mean that they don't have their own issues, right? Because usually with a woman, the issue is that they're too afraid to take the risks when they need to. Whereas with men, it's usually the opposite problem. They're too willing to take risks on. That's
Ace
certainly
Trade
my
says
problem.
at Air Cages, if I taught my wife how to trade, she would then have no need of me.
Oh, come on now, Ace. We know that that's not true. Who would make waffles? Really? I like that price right there. Should have taken that one. 35 is out now. We should still wait. My lips are really chapped. I must not be drinking enough water.
Lucas says we do need you, Ace. Ace Trades says she would hire a handsome French chef who cooks shirtless. Air Cages says not sure if there's good enough Wi-Fi in the kitchen.
Look at that. See, they broke that downside. It was interesting that I was like, oh, I like that price. I should have bought that one. They did move up, but then they immediately dashed it. This now becomes... Ooh. This is going to be interesting chart pattern.
Ace Trades says at Lucas thanks. Short 3,270.50.
You already made your 2 ticks, dude. That was a solid down impulse. I don't know what to make of that. 67 was the previous swing low. I'd be much more interested in a long still, especially with the way that the treasuries moved. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Come on, push, push, push. This is kind of the problem with buying into it, isn't it? Okay.
Ace Trades says it finally hit it the third time.
Yeah.
Now only have one on.
Well, now that it's above your price, I'm going to reverse it. Okay. Ooh. Yeah.
Ace Trades says out. Air Cages says Seth, would you consider yourself a boomer or millennial?
I'm definitely a millennial. I'm sure people would call me a boomer though, because to me, boomer means that you understand how markets work. Because really, the boomer meme was started by communists. I that's how I feel. Maybe that's not. Maybe that's a really biased way of looking at it. But when I look on Facebook, I just see the communists pushing that meme. Well, I think I might have already have. See that? It's like when to get out. If I get that much, it's usually like they turn. There's a little bit too much stacking on the top as we moved back down, I think. I'm a little unhappy about that. Treasuries still look ready to just push down again. They're just waiting for equities to move up. Okay. Ooh. Oh, that was really far away though. It was a bid in the 10-year, but it was really
Ace
far away.
Trades says long signal 3,271.00.
Okay.
Ace Trades says but choppy.
It's choppy, yep. Well, we're in an inside bar now. So I might be asking too much of this trade. No. Man. That really sucks. Never listen to me, says Ace.
Ace Trade says holy crap, never listen to me.
Well. They seem to be calming down, but they're still pushing you. Darn. Okay, well,
Ace Trade says and thesis why we don't trade the first 10 minutes.
yeah, well, I waited 5 minutes. I guess I should have waited longer, huh? Well, now I'm going to wait for a break of this bar for sure. There's some real bears out there. Look at the cumulative delta is overall negative.
Air Cages says what did the millennial say to the boomer?
What? What did they say? Okay, boomer.
Uzi Knesset says would you like fries with that? Ace Trade says I think she will run if it gets past 3,268.00. Air Cages says never mind.
Never mind. Did Uzi call it? Did Uzi guess it? I don't know. The equities are trying to act like that they are really bearish, but the treasuries don't seem to be confirming that. The treasuries are still pushing down.
RZH says lol.
Right. I'm taking that one just because I see the turn up. They failed 68.
Ace Trade says where is Gary today?
Oh, that's a good question. You mean Mr. Rich? I know, right? He gave us a great
Live
donation
Action says
yesterday,
S
and he's
volatile
here
not
today.
sure if this will help but
Oh,
a
no, he was here
133
earlier.
tick chart SP pairs to be a bit more tame.
He was here earlier because he was talking about the amazing short in oil. Yeah, that's right. Oof. No, sir. Well, there's 68.
Air Cages says you should post a meme about how all day traders are named John.
Isn't that the truth? I told my wife we should name our baby John, but she wants it to be a multi-syllable name. Okay, well, I can try a short now. I don't know, man. It's not.
Ace Trade says yeah, I figured I had one more trade in me. Went short 3,269.00.
One of the things that I'm a little skeptical about here is just on the whole short side, because we have seen many times lately that you'll see a lot of selling on the open and then they'll drift higher. And the treasuries are still sitting near the lows after that big trend down. They're not pricing in any risk at all of equities falling apart.
Uzi Knesset says the short toilet in ZP is definitely clogged with bids. Confused face.
So there was a pretty good sweep short there in the E-mini. It's past the first 15 minutes.
Lucas says where could it go if they flush it, Uzi? Ace Trades says I'm out except for one contract.
Okay.
Ace Trades says move to one tick profit, let her run.
I still kind of want to see if they
Live Action
exhaust
says
her.
I read somewhere 2020 Treasury is expected to be relatively flat.
Yeah, I don't think the trading is going to be as good for treasuries this year, because the Federal Reserve is just not going to do anything, right?
Uzi Knesset says I got 55-20 if she runs down.
Okay, now I might be getting an actionable signal.
Lucas says at UZI maybe Seth can tell us how many bids are there at that level.
20. Nothing interesting there.
Uzi Knesset says yeah he told me.
Okay.
Uzi Knesset says that's the month's open though. Sell-off could trigger mad stops. Lucas says I see.
This bar is starting to look like seller side exhaustion. Few seconds to close the bar and then it will
Uzi
be.
Knesset says but there's a hell of a lot of buying down here.
Strong down.
Uzi Knesset says so I'm indecisive.
Strong downtrend hammer suggests sell side overextension, which certainly
Lucas
also
says
is
I'm
borne
thinking of
out
going
by
short between 20 to 215.
my cumulative delta and level 2. Cool. Slow and steady as she goes. His treasuries are like poised on, just like sitting on the edge, like they're all going to go. I don't know. This seems like one where if you tried hitting into 18 that you might have a hard time though. You know what I mean?
Ace Trades says long signal 3268.75. I'm done for the day.
Okay. Thank you, though. It's in line with what we're doing and what my chart shows. The hour is negative, but we get above 71 and then the hour becomes positive, and then we could start to see a lot more upside. And I think that there's enough volume short to do that. So I'm feeling good about the setup here.
Live Action says 5 years a lot of selling but not moving.
Yeah. The whole treasury complex just looks like stuck. There was a big buy in the 10-year though. There was like 3,000 bought there. So if they decide to push lows, there's going to be some upset. There's definitely some people that can be upset to push it.
Uzi Knesset says ZB buying like it's going out of style.
Yeah, both of them. That might be spreading though. The buying in the 10 and the 30, that might be spreading.
Live Action says S acting up here I think short for me. Ace Trades says multi-lots take first profit.
Okay. Let's move.
Lucas says at ACE out plus 4 ticks lol, kept that one close, maybe should have waited more.
Good job. Okay, so now we're going to be positive on the day. Almost, maybe, possibly.
Live Action says having chromium don't listen to me. Ace Trades says at Lucas profit is profit. I'll be back later.
Good job. Thank you, Ace. Push it, come on. Ah.
Lucas says 4 ticks is 1 point in S, right?
Yes.
Live Action says YHX Ace.
Ooh, curious downtick there in the treasuries. Alligator says he's leaning on negative, maybe to 16 target in ZN.
Lucas says don't let it come back.
I'm gonna take 8 ticks risk. I gotta let the winners run, and I have a setup for it to run. So far, they're not going for it. This may just be consolidation. It's always weird to me when they come up just shy of something in the E-mini. Well, this bar might end up being an insight bar. Okay. Treasury's kind of backed off there. Okay. When it starts to get stuck like this, it stresses me out. My eye's not twitching or anything, but I'm just sitting here like, just go up, please. Ah. That was not bad. That little flush there was not good. Was a little overextended, so
Live action
there's still
says may
hope,
get
but
BPOC shift to 3,270.
okay. Well, that seemed really bad for a second, but the buyers pulled it out, at least for now. I think that I'd really need to get above 69.75 to really feel confident here, though. Now they're just taking turns. Okay. It's just a little too close for comfort. Okay. Oh, nice. No, they seem to be fighting now. It's like, no, yes, no, yes, yes. Okay. Well, a good 16,000 traded at 32.69. Well, that's disappointing, guys. I'm just sitting here watching it and I'm like, yeah, now they're going to turn back up.
Lucas says sorry, sir.
Yeah. That's funny that it read it as sir. I think that's all I should take. I mean, I could take another one. Just seems that it's hard for me to get more than 10. I did pretty good on limiting the adverse ticks, so that's good. I mean, that's better, but I'm still not getting the runs that I need. And I'm wondering if maybe I'm just asking too much. So there's the overextension that I want. One more. It's 8:30, so
Live action says good for me. The way the volume behaves on the ladder volatile tight area tells me reversal could come. Reason I shorted also VPOC overhead.
in the E-mini or in the treasuries? You must be talking about the E-mini. Let's see here. Where the regular session VPOC is at 2269.75 for me. The cumulative delta really looks to me like the shorts are unable to push it further. But I know that when it gets all turny like this, that it's hard to predict what it's going to do. And the trend has been down. So
Live action says S and the treasuries were holding a lot of selling and you said you saw big buy order enough for me to short multiple reasons.
yeah, okay. See, there's that 2268.75, and the E-mini just for some reason doesn't push above that. Well, they touching it now. You can see that the sellers kind of come in right there. And all the volume back and forth there. I'm sure if they clear that again, that he'll push it again. See?
Uzi Knesset says buyers gonna try and keep CB above 02.
Do you think if they fail 02 that the CB guys will give up? No, it's still not. It's still backing off.
Lucas says, do you expect those buyers to be strong enough to reverse this market?
Well, I think that what's going to happen is that the sellers are going to have to exit and it'll push us back up above the open, is what I think is going to happen.
Uzi Knesset says, I dunno honestly, it's pretty damn thick.
In the treasuries, I don't know. You're right about the treasuries being pretty darn thick, but you know what? That was a pretty strong trend
Gorudo
down
Scalp
when it
says, what is your average daily profit objective on ZN or ZB in tick?
So in ZN, oh, that's a good question. You know what? Like an averagely good day would be 4 ticks in the end.
Lucas says, true. I like when traders admit they don't know.
To be honest, at this point, I know I got in on something, but like I don't even remember what it was.
Gorudo Scalp says 4 tick on ZN, so 2 tick on ZB?
Well, no. So Gerudo, the 30-year actually tends to move a little bit further than the 10. So,
Uzi Knesset says, you see M fighting over O2.
you know, if you can get 4 ticks in ZN, you might be able to get 6 ticks in ZB, but I would probably be using generally the same risk parameters. But, you know,
Lucas
the ZB
says
is
yes.
worth twice as much. So, but I guess what I'm saying is that that's based on how much
Lucas
it tends
says,
to
good
move.
eye.
How much it tends to move in a day. And not what, you know, my monetary appetite for risk is, right? Because those things can be in conflict, and which one is going to win? It's always going to be the market, right? Okay.
Gorudo Scalp says, thanks.
No problem. Well, I'm noticing now that the activity level in the ES is kind of dropping. Let's see, they're going to come back up there to the top again, maybe? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now they're like holding 68.50. Whoa, okay. On one hand, I don't think that that's a positive sign, but on the other hand, I feel like that the sellers are trying too hard to hold those spots. Yes. You see him fighting it. Okay. This is a little more promising. Aha. Finally. Hmm. Some clicks there in the treasury with the ask at 20 half fiddling. Okay. Down tick in the treasury. That looks good. Oh, there was an inside bar I didn't notice. Okay. Well, we came back to the point of control for the regular session. That's what that is. A little bit of a downturn there again. Back into the inside bar. Closes right at the close of that bar. That's funny. Cumulative delta for the most part flat for the past 15 minutes or so. Ow. Sellers may be overextended there a little bit. Mm. Ooh, that's nice.
Live action says Treasury's still buying here into Globix low.
Well, I can see those icebergs on the bid at 20.5, for instance. It's interesting on the upturn you saw it that buying started in ZB, and then it did eventually spread to everything. It could still just be a pullback of the larger trend, of course.
Live action says never mind, I type slow.
I'm really hating how on the upside there will be a level that you would like to see past, and it kind of goes slow. Okay, so they finally a slight tick higher. I am seeing cumulative delta moving back up in the equities. There's maybe a few trapped sellers now down at the bottom. Maybe this will be a better push. Because we're almost good 10, 20,000 contracts short since the open. So if we can get above the open, I think it would be really positive. Hmm. Kind of on this step in the profile now, and yes. I feel laser focused on this. Okay. Treasuries ticked down on that one. This looks promising. Come on. It ticks back up in the treasuries. They're definitely watching the E-mini. Hmm. So that uptick looked like promising, but then they're iceberging there at 32.70.25.
Lucas says bid's still clogging the toilet.
In the treasury, yeah. Well, they didn't seem like they're ticking back and forth at 20.5, but that doesn't seem like that it's done anything yet that made either the bid or the offer feel like that they needed to change anything. So those guys probably want fills. The E-mini is on an okay run here, but they're just not quite doing what it takes to really get things moving. They need to get above the regular session open at the very least. And they're coming right to it. And there's plenty of people trading it both ways there. But look at all this short. From 25 to 30,000. So about 5,000 contracts short. I say that they need to be buyers now. So I don't understand why they're not more anxious about buying above the open. And it could be that they're just waiting for the bottom of the hour. Now it's equal level 2 in 20 half in the 10-year. Okay. Promising. Make it bid. Thank you. Ugh. Look at that. 5K into 20 half. He's doing all sorts of stuff with offers here. Okay. Well, I tell you what. I'm happy that they're above the open. I honestly expected that I would see more stops more quickly as soon as they got above the open. They could just be biding their time. If we, so here we're now at 8:30 exactly. So now we start the next hour block. We'll see maybe orders come in and try and push it. I don't know. How long have I been in this for? 27 minutes. Ugh. Oh man, look at that. What is he doing at 28 half 29? Way up there? Oh, that's like at the high of the day. But look, that offer at 20 half is solid. 58.22 has gone into it. That's pretty big iceberging. Except for I don't see anything unusual in the 30-year. Oh, I take that back. There is pretty big iceberg at 04.
Lucas says they waiting for you to leave.
Yeah, probably. Ah.
IQ says absorption at 04.
Yeah, huge absorption at 04. Another huge spread trade. This one, though, I think might be a butterfly.
Lucas says holy F, look I'm buying ZP.
Push. Push. Come on. Let's see them. Let's see them buy stops. Come on. Come on, buyers. Give it up. Give it up. Yes, this iceberging in the treasuries is pretty crazy. This is like the slowest bubble up I've ever seen in the E-mini. There's definitely some people getting stopped out there, but it's not like crazy or anything. Look at him buying ZB with the iceberg, yeah. Well, the interesting thing is going to be if the 10-year has such a solid offer at 20.5. If they decide to try and sell through, if they try and sell through 20, how much is it going to take to get through 20 in the 10-year? Will that start iceberging too, like the 5 and 30 are doing? In IP court case China, Jordan Brand knockoff attorneys argues that the figure in its logo is holding a ping pong paddle, not a basketball. And there's the picture. You see the picture? It's a ping pong ball, guys. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Oh, China, you never cease to entertain.
Live action says I am closing S here, don't want to fight this level.
Yeah. Well, I do see a little bit of a turn, and it's 8:36. Ooh, look at that. So huge orders go into 20.5 there. I cut the open. I'm still disappointed, even though I got, 16 ticks on that one.
Ooze it says ZP is straight frozen.
Yeah. I don't know what, I need to make some adjustments in the E-mini, but I'm not quite sure what to do. Am I getting accurate enough that I can just do 4-tick stop, 8-tick profit? Yeah, there's a little bit of support there at the open now. I say I still think that it could go higher, but I don't have all day, unfortunately. So in the end, that leaves me down 1250.
Uzi Knesset says is funny, I offered 06 on the initial down push and got to Q1 and didn't get filled. Now it's a low node on the profile PFFT.
I feel like the second one. Maybe the second one and the third one, but like I think I could have done without these two. Right? That was the one at the top of the hour. That was okay. This one was maybe too quick as well, but well, look at that. That's what I wanted. Do I just need to wait longer? I don't know, guys. That sucks. Well, I'm tempted to click in and try and run with it, but I missed it. I screwed it up. It's fine. I gotta just deal with it.
Lucas says let us take profits for you.
Let us take profits for you. You told me when to get out, huh? But what would you use to determine when we get out? I don't know. The problem that I'm having is that the thing that I'm using to get in doesn't necessarily always happen every time that I need to get out. But that was it. Like, it was going to work. The trade was good. The whole setup was good. Look at the cumulative delta coming back. The whole thing was good, and I just don't know why it took them so long. It's like literally like they just waited for me to get out. It's so frustrating. I don't know. I mean, even in the treasuries, that'll happen to me, right? But I feel like that over time, I've gotten better at that in the treasuries.
Lucas says I'd use Ace's method, just move stop to at least 1 point if it's there. I suck at entries, but you are good at those.
So far, I'm getting better at entries, aren't I? Every single one of these. No, I take that back. So this one that I was saying I could have done without, that one almost immediately fell apart, right? I wasn't even in that for a
Live
minute.
Action says ugly day today RS Whippy Treasury's anemic initial move off report and grands I was late on and decided to trade a continuation red for day but close to even now.
I hear you. I feel you, dude. But this one right here, I didn't get any favorable sticks. But these other ones, I got at least 2 points on them, right? So that could have been 2 points. That could have been, if I had just taken 2 points on all of these, let's just say that I had taken 2 points on all of these, then that one would still be -4. That one would be 8, and that one would be 8, and that one would be 8. So I'd have 32 minus 10, or minus 8. So I would be plus 16. So I'd be up $20. But the reason I've been holding it is because my stop is the -10, and so I'm trying to get at least 1 to 2 times that. I got 1.5 that time. But it was gonna go 3. So I think we can maybe we can chalk that one up to just, reasonable mistake. I don't know. Work in progress. Not bad. Not bad, but it needs to be better, I think. I would like to do better. And that right there, I'd be out now. 74. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there was maybe 8 more in it.
IQ says, so what made you say it was a butterfly at 04, 03 and ZB? Seth.
So when we were coming in here, we saw the iceberg in the 10-year first, but then this iceberg in the 10 and in the 30 and the 5 show up as well. So that could be some sort of a butterfly. Now the problem when you see the absorption is you don't know
Lucas says you will
who's
do
doing
better.
what.
Just
you
a
know?
matter of acknowledging mistakes and keeping at it.
I think so, Lucas. And 10 is not too bad, right? We've just kind of been ranging back and forth in profit and loss here on the account past weeks, so we're okay.
Ace Trade says, I'm back. Are we rich?
Man, Ace. So I had the long, and I thought it was a good long. And then we had this thing, and it was after 8:30, and I'm like, fine. So I exited, and then they moved up. Oh, wait, you can't see it. So I was long somewhere in, well, let's find the exact spot. 67.50.
Live Action says, I am going to play horses today.
So I was long somewhere in here, and I held all the way through that. And then I got that, and it had been long enough, and I said, okay, I need to get out. And then
Lucas
they
says
did
we
that.
are about to buy a yacht for a weekend party.
And this thing right here, oh my gosh. I can't. Where is it? I hate how the pen just disappears. That pisses me off. Okay. So I got in here. I got out here.
Ace Trade says, that looks like a great long. Don't cry over money you didn't make. Always live to trade another day.
Thanks, Ace.
IQ says, never use the butterfly. You know for certain or made it up. ZB.
Oh, yeah, let me get to that in a second. Anyways, this was the trade. I was looking for these guys to get washed out. And so I never really got the trade. So that's why I'm upset. Okay. So butterfly. Okay. What is a butterfly? A butterfly, okay, so a spread would be you buy this one and you sell this one. That would be a steepener. Okay. And a oh geez. Now the pen is being freaking weird. Hold on. Man. Oh man. Now it's really screwed up. Holy crap. Ah. There we go. Okay. Clear. So Ace
Trade says it, Lucas nice. I'm aboard that idea.
Okay. A flattener would be this and this. Okay. Now, you're going to do those based on what your outlook on the economy is right now. So you're kind of seeing a flattener a bit. This one overall has moved down a little bit more, especially this one, than this one. Okay. But what I'm also seeing is that the 10-year is not moving down as far as it should. So a butterfly would be like, I think that the 10-year has moved down further than it should have compared to the other two. So, or vice versa. And so they might have been buying this one and buying this one and selling this one. All right. Or they might have been doing the opposite. And I think that that's what they were doing is they were buying this one. They were buying this one, and they were expecting the 10-year to go down more. All right. So how do you tell which is which? Well, I'm not sure. But the reason why I say it is because you see the icebergs, right? course, there was some icing here and here, but not nearly as much as the other side, right? So at that point, you have to ask, okay, which guy was doing it? Well, I say that it was the iceberg that was doing it. So that's why I think it was this. That's why I think it was this. Now, a butterfly suggests that they think that the 10-year is not the right value compared to the other two. Yeah. But then you got this whole thing where when it broke, it did kind of break.
IQ
right?
says conjecturing.
But yeah, it's totally conjecture. The reason why I think it's important, I've had a hard time finding a way to accurately predict what direction treasuries are going to go when I see something like that. When I see a clear spread trade, like that's just a spread, we usually move. But when we see a butterfly, I'm not so sure. I don't see that very often. Although I would suspect that it would reduce movement overall. Okay. So, but the reason that I think it's important is because if you don't understand that it's a spread, you can make a very serious misread in the order flow, right? Because you might only be looking at your instrument and you might see, well, man, they're really buying the ZB right there. That could be a place that will hold and will move up, right? But then when you know that it's part of a spread trade, you know that you almost have to ignore this. This might not mean what you think it means. So it might not be the best idea to put a trade in here. Or if you do, maybe only go for a little bit. You know what I mean? So that's the only reason why it matters. I don't think that I can predict direction off of it, if that's what you're getting at, IQ. It's fun to try and figure it out, though.
Lucas says I don't know about that. Now that I think of, we have 30 years auction. That's probably position trading before
Could be
auction.
too. Yeah, it could be that too. I mean, I would have expected to have seen a really big iceberg somewhere on an auction day. But the kind of seeing it across all three on different sites is unusual. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe we still move. Like I said, I don't know about butterflies, but when I see a big spread trade, it usually moves. Because what happens is the big guy, he takes his position in the spread that he wants, and then all of the market makers are stuck holding the bag. So then whichever way it just moves because they have nothing to hold them. So there you go. The 10-year is now at the low. And we're 4 ticks down. It usually, I don't know. I don't know about it with a butterfly, but normally when I see spread trades, it moves. And you can try and guess which way. I don't know. Although in that kind of a situation, it's just going to be with the trend, right? Like if you had forced me to take a trade there, I would have sold 20.5. Just because we've had a downtrend day. And the E-mini is moving up. Of course, we didn't do that one. We were waiting for the E-mini to go up, and we were sulking about how our trade took too long. And I'm totally down with you guys giving me a good idea, if you think that now is a good spot to get out of something. Because I struggle with that so much. I would like to have a reason, if you can, but yeah, I don't know. Because the concern that I have in my mind is that if I only take the 8, then I have to have a positive probability to win. But maybe that means that I should just always take 12 instead of 8. That might work out. Because some of these were getting 10 to 12. that one got 12. Curious. Okay, got to type here. So that is going to be the title for today, is that we had a huge iceberg, or huge spread trades. Now I'm seeing pretty consistent ticking in the treasury at 23. That's weird. That is weird. Did you see it right there at 23? Oh, he stopped moving it. He stopped moving it. You could see him. He was moving it, and you hear it clicking. I've seen that sort of a thing before, but not for such an extended period of time. I kind of wonder if that was somebody like, hey, you need to fill me back up here. You need to come back up here because this is where I want to sell it. There he is right there. 21.5. See him move? 21. It's moving all up in here. There's all this liquidity up in here. I don't think that they're going to get filled. That could potentially mean another drift lower. I really think that 16 is likely. It's likely. I want to keep watching because this is all incredibly interesting. But it's time for me to go. So let's change the day. This is a good video to watch. Oh, you guys were talking and I didn't even see. What did he say after that? Next, how many butterflies per day per week? Oh, you know what, IQ? I can probably count on my two hands the number of times that I've seen something like that. Or at least that I noticed and can remember. I bet you it goes on all the time, but it's hidden. But something so obvious is rare. Uzi toilet unclogged. I'm still bitter about my E-mini trade. Oh well. Oh well, it's okay. We'll work on it. All right, guys. Probably won't do too much with it tomorrow, though. Okay. I really better end it, so I will see you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, stay profitable.